at this time, can you close your mic? Because you are interrupting as the minutes is being read. We are not hearing properly because of the feedback.
I'm
So please
sorry.
close your mic. When the time comes for you to be to have that opportunity to talk, you can get the chance to open and talk. Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead now, Corinne.
Okay. Parents asked for the RAP certificate, which was promised to send by email. Mr. Lee stated that the certificates for RAPs were emailed to parents, and if you don't receive the email, please email the school. Once again, the president welcomed new parents to the PTA family. He told them that we facilitate every plan and idea. We adjust as possible. We need everyone on board, no more than forever. We will overcome and fight every challenge we as a school family. The principal. The principal greeted the president, parents, staff, students, and teachers. He stated that he is not going to use this forum to discuss vaccination, as that level of con- conversation is not for here, it's your personal decision. He apologized for Mrs. Shield Green and Mr. Ince that is absent. He said orientation went well. There were about 580 to 600 students online each day. He said yesterday was the largest of 663 students online. Grade 7 has low intake of students online. We call over 50 parents to find out what's the problem and if the school can help. He said parents need to check up on students during classes. Teachers are complaining when they call up on students in class, they are nowhere to be found, but they're logged on. He said we do assembly on Monday and Thursday at 7:30 a.m. He encouraged parents to join in with the students. And Thursday, grade 7 to 9 have club. Over 300 were grade 7 to 8, which was great. He asked parents to encourage students to join clubs. He stated that by mid of November, CSEC and CAPE exam will be due to pay. He reminds parents that the fee is linked to US dollars and the school don't have the information as yet, so he's asking parents to start putting money aside. He said that Jamaica Public Service and the government Jamaica Public Service, government and national commercial banks subsidize students who has a particular grade. Part student government pay up to 8 subjects. He stated that he upgrade the ITC because we will go face-to-face classes. And when we sorry about that. He stated that he upgraded ITC because when we go face-to-face classes, we will still have some level of online classes. He paused to thank the ITC teacher who spent time to train students and parents for online platform. Several parents came after the training and was dealt with. Once again, he thanked the guidance team, Mrs. J. Miller, the Dean, Mistress P. Williams, and Mrs. Petty, who had taken some abuse that did not stop them from doing their job. He asked the parents to note the counselors are human, and if you don't agree, don't say anything. This is the forum where students are. He said he will not support the abusing of staff members. Let us respect each other at Pembroke High School. You will always get information. Very few schools you can get WhatsApp information from. He said that Mr. Dua spoken earlier about the care package, and there were a lot of students at Pembroke High School that are in need. And Tuesday, package went out. He thanked the parents that gave since July 2021 four sets has given out. We are currently hosting a COVID response. Each one reach one to address the students that are not online. Look out for us driving through your communities. We are COVID compliant and ready. Midterm will be from October 15 to 19, 2021. He stated that the last information he get for face-to-face class was that we have to reach 65% vaccinated students. We don't reach near that. He said that this is not the forum to discuss the vaccine. He is not asking anybody to take the vaccine, and he said he's not going to stop any child from education. He said he promote education, he promote vaccination, he promote JUTC bus over robot taxi, but it is a decision for you to make. He said the school are now ready to be inspected by the Ministry of Health, and we have ensured that we have all protocol in place. He stated that we are not getting ready. We are ready at Pembroke High School, are doing the best for your child. We have transferred a classroom to therapy room. We realize that some children will come back with psychosocial issue. 7 students will go through psychotherapy by outside psychiatrists, which will have to be paid. It's costly. So exercise for every student. It is costly, expensive for every student. We can only bear for grade 7. Once again, he thanked the parents who have done their best to pay the fee. Some has paid part, some full, and some have promised. He reminded parents that we accepted cash, card, or online. If you pay online, please email receipts with your child name and grade. He said he knows difficult time for all. He thanked the grade 9 and 10 student who did the CSEC examination and was successful. Next week, CAPE result will be out. Pembroke High School sixth form is doing exceptionally well. Several of our students has gained acceptance into university. Question and answer was done by the principal. A parent suggests if when loan turn out, if it could be placed in the Google Classroom for parents to see who was absent. The principal said it has been posted in the RenWeb. Mr. Rose said that grade 10 has assembled on Friday, which has a low turnout. He said questions related to changes of subject should be sent to the committee by email for grade 10. A parent asked what pathway class is. It was explained by the principal. Parents was complaining about students not having devices. The principal stated that they got some from the Lion Club, so parents need to send in information because it is limited. A parent stated that teachers are not using rental books. The principal said he's sure they will start to use them soon. Election was held for the 2021-22 school year for PTA body. The president, for president, Mr. Samuel Duwa was asked if he wanted to continue. It was first by Reverend Claude Ellis, second by Tony and James. He accepted. Mr. Wayne Simit was nominated first by Mrs. Joy Miller and second by Mr. Andrew Rose. He did not accept. Mr. Dewar was not challenged and he remained the president. For vice president, Mrs. Sanders was asked if she wanted to continue serve as vice president. She accepted. First by Mr. Samuel Ward, second by Tony and James. Janice Mitchell was nominated by Mr. Rose. She accepted. First by Mr. Reverend Claude Ellis, second by Miss Powell. A vote was conducted. Miss Mitchell won by 17, Mrs. Saunders 16. For secretary, Ms. Corinne Pinnock was asked if she wanted to continue. She accepted. First by Mr. Samuel Ward, second by Reverend Claude Ellis. Ms. Pinnock was not challenged and she remained the secretary. For assistant secretary, Mrs. Collett, it was nominated herself. It was first by Mr. Andrew Rose, second by Ms. Jolene Miller. She was not challenged. For PRO, Ms. Saunders was nominated first by Mr. Samuel, second by Mrs. Marshall. She was not challenged. Assistant PRO, Mrs. Natalie Cameron was asked if she wanted to continue serve. She accepted, first by Tony and James, second by Mrs. Hinfrey. She was not challenged. She remained the assistant PRO. For treasurer, Ms. Tony and James was asked if she wanted to continue. She accepted, first by Reverend Claude Ellis, second by Jolene Miller. She was not challenged and she remained the treasurer. For assistant treasurer, Mrs. Ebert was nominated by Mr. Rose, but she did not accept him. The president thanked the executive body for their work that they have done and said he looked forward for the new team input as we work together for excellence always. Let us put our hands and hearts so we can achieve the goals. He thanked all parents for being at the meeting and the principal and staff for the hard work they have done. Closing prayer was done by Jadaniel Ferguson. Meeting was adjourned at 9, first by Mr. Andrew Rose and second by Mr. Claude Ellis. Thanks. This is the meeting for October. Hello.
Okay. Hello. Thank you, our hardworking secretary. Thank you for that. You have detailed the situation. So at this time, I'm asking, is there any correction to this minutes? Anyone have any correction or any omission? Can you state it at this time? Any correction, omission going once? Going twice? Going thrice? Okay. Will someone so move to that we accept this minutes as being read? Someone confirm the minutes for me, please. Just open your mic and state your name so it can for the record.
I move that the minute may be confirmed. Tony James.
Okay. Seconded?
I beg to second it, Karen Lawson.
Who first? I did not hear who first and second in.
Tony James first and Karen Lawson second.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Well, I just accept that all in favor because you can just raise your hand. Someone will check, but I must say that as we have just confirmed the minutes, is there any at this point of discussion anyone want to bring up at this time? Any discussion you want to share in?
Wow, that's really great. I bet this success makes you feel so much better about yourself as a person.
Sir,
Okay, Rosemary, go ahead.
yes, the online classes for 9-4, most days my son is not able to go on a class. When you go in Google Classroom and click on the camera, it keeps saying waiting for host to join. My son is Jerome Smith. He's in 9-4.
Okay. Is any of the technical person, Mr. Ellis, or anybody or principal, anyone can address that? Did you heard what Ms. Rosemary
Yes, sir.
said?
I'll speak to it whenever I address it, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. Good point, Mr. Ellis. Thank you for that. Okay, and any other matters arising that anybody want to make mention of? Oh.
Hi, good night. My name is Delia.
Okay, go ahead.
I am inquiring about the rental books for the students. My daughter didn't get all of the rental. So I think we only got 2 books. So I want to know when the remaining rental books will be available so we can actually have it picked up.
Okay. Thank you for that, Delia. The principal is making note of that. And he hello. There's a discussion. There's a discussion going on. Can someone mute the mic? There's a discussion going on that is not directed to the meeting.
Hello, good night.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Stone.
Yes, my son is in 828, but he did face-to-face last week, and his device, his tablet is not working anymore. So he's at home when it's face-to-face time, not doing anything. So I was wondering if anybody could help with a tablet, or I would like to know the cost of a laptop so I can pay down or something. Because
Okay.
it's now in mash up. They drop and break.
Hold on, Miss Stone, did I get you right? You said when it's face-to-face, he's at home, or you mean when it is time for him to be online? When it's time for him to be online, you have a problem?
Yeah, because I would like to know how him can get the work the work done when him come to school and face-to-face.
Okay, all right. It's noted. I know the principal take note of that. So as soon as he comes on, he will address it. Okay, Miss Stone?
The next thing, when are they going to get the ID?
Okay, you'll hear about that later on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you too. Any other matter that we need to make note of so it can be addressed when the principal come on, or our guidance counselor, or any one of the members of the staff? Anybody else have?
Good night. Good night.
Okay, who is this? Robinson? Miss Robinson, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just a question. If a student device is not working on online time for that student, is there any other way the child can get the work?
Good question, Miss. Good question, Miss Robinson. You'll get the answer shortly. Okay.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. Any other concern from the minutes you'd like to discuss?
Hello, good night.
Okay, Miss Way, good night.
My son is in 737, and from Monday, no class. Waiting to join this meeting. Today I text in the group and I get into
Natalie Gain. Sorry, Miss Way. Natalie Gain, can you mute your mic for me, please? Okay, go ahead, Miss Way.
Yeah, my son in January, I mean 737. From Monday, no class. Today I text in the group and ask why no class. He get into 1 and no more class. I don't know what is the problem. No work. I don't know. My son just sit at home and wait and to go to school again. I don't know what.
Okay.
Week on, week off. I don't know what the problem. No, wait in the house to join this meeting. Me there, me see what one. Me don't know what the problem.
Okay, Miss Ray, that will be addressed shortly. Okay, thank you for raising the issue.
Sir. Sir.
Okay, go ahead. Deidre, hi. Go ahead.
Sir, good night, sir. I'm gonna get none of the rental book them, sir.
Okay, can you just hold on that for me? The principal will soon address that. I just want to deal with the matters arising from the minutes now, and then after that we can go into the part where the principal will facilitate those questions, and he will give you an answer to those.
I want me, I can't talk to you now.
Hello?
Mr. Dua,
Go ahead, Mr. Dora, unmute your mic.
Sorry, go ahead, Miss Pinnock. Miss Pinnock?
I was saying, matter for a minute, we did not get an assistant secretary at the last meeting.
No, not assistant secretary, assistant treasurer.
Treasurer, right. Sorry about that. Assistant treasurer. We did not get one, so we need to.
Yes, thank you for that, Miss Pinnock. Just for the reminder. All right. At the mat, I soon come to you, Deidre Hefim. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but what happened is that we need, while we are making this discussion, somebody who believe that they need to give their input, their valuable input towards the school, towards the PTA body. We want a volunteer for the post of assistant treasurer. So by the meeting end, we are hoping that someone will present themselves to be available for that position. Okay, thank you for that. Okay then, I just want to know, these hands are up. You have Maxine Gooden, we have Deidre Hefin. Go ahead, Deidre.
Sorry, Deidre Hefin didn't get any rental book.
Okay, as I said, the principal will address that shortly. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Maxine, go ahead. Is Maxine still want to make her point? Contribution to the matters arising? Okay, go ahead, Jahil. Jahil Elliston.
Yes, good night, everyone. My concern is there any packed lunch giving out? Because he said he went to the canteen today and they said they are not doing any part.
Okay. That will be addressed shortly, my dear. Good question. We are happy for all these questions.
Mr. Dua.
Okay, Mr.
Before, let me address that one first. That cannot be true because I sent a letter to parents on last weekend to say that we are now issuing parcel lunches and we want the children to come and collect the lunches. Students have been collecting parcel lunches, so no student can say they went to the canteen and is told that there are no parcel lunches being given out. When I am the one who said to parents, we are now issuing lunches, please, if your child does not have one of the receipts to verify that they're on path, just send it in so that we can know that this child is on path. Remember, if the child is new to the school and you have not done the transfer, then we cannot know that the child is on path and we can't account for that child. But path lunches are being issued at the canteen. I know that for a fact.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Thank you for addressing that. All right. I just want to move on because I know that Mr. Ellis have a lot of questions to answer because there are a lot of questions coming up. And we don't want to be here all night. So one of the things I want to address at this time, I want to know if my vice president is on. Is Jenny's on? Is Jenny's on? Is my vice president on? Is Janice on? Okay. It seems like there's a problem with our connection because she was on earlier. Okay. One of the things that we want to address, and that is mainly parents, matters arising from minutes, we are asking for contribution towards the care packages. I know that no matter the position you are in, things can be very challenging, much less those who are not, I say, not in a healthy position like some who are. So we need to recognize that there are those who need our assistance, no matter how small it may be. So I'm pleading again. And when our principal comes, I know he's going to outline certain details as to how we can contribute towards it. So I want our parents to recognize that if they cannot directly contribute, they can ask somebody who they know, who can sponsor something towards it. Because listen, there are many children who, because of this pandemic, their parents have lost job. And many of them are struggling. And we, who the Lord has blessed, in whether minute or major way, we should be considerate and we should help to do our part. So I'm pleading to the parents to see how much you can help. That as you notice, it was mentioned in the minutes that I had addressed it, and I still doing it today, because my concern is that as a school, we need to help those who are in need. Before I turn over to Mr. Ellis, I want also for us to note that as an executive body, we have been pleading for other parents to help us. We are looking for class coordinator, and we are looking for grade coordinator. Just let me explain. The class coordinator is that we need to have at least 2 representatives from each class. We are saying that grade 7, and say for instance, grade 7 have 5 classes, five grade 7 classes. We are expecting to get 10 representatives, 2 for each classes, and from there we can choose a grade rep. And this goes for all the different grades. We can choose a grade rep, and that grade rep will represent that grade to the executive. And we as the executive, we will do our part to try to coordinate and to try to help out. And if we need to go to the principal, to the school, to make representation, that's what we do. So I'm asking that our executive have been trying from last year in order to get some class rep and grade rep. The reason for that, friend, let me try to simplify it, is that as a PTA executive body, there are many things that is happening around us that we are not aware of. We would like to be a part of to help. So when we have the class rep, the class member within themselves, the class class rep, they will represent the grade together. And then they will choose one person to represent that grade. For instance, what if a child, like how we see the many different points being made that they're having problem with their devices and things like that. As a class or as a grade, you come together. If my daughter cannot go onto it, and then somebody else who is living in that vicinity have the opportunity or have the convenience, then we can make arrangement that my daughter can be so facilitated. So we are trying to have each one care for each other. So that is what we are trying to do. It's not that we are trying to put you in any position to pressure you, but we just want to foster a better relationship, foster a better channel, a better way where we can help the children to achieve and help the teachers, because sometimes the teachers are frustrated because they cannot get to the student. And then we who are on the ground, can be the liaison officer to help. So when we have that cohesiveness, that organized body, then I believe that we can progress better. This is the reason why we want the class reps, 2 from each class, and a grade rep to represent that grade. So think about it, parents. We are asking of you to do that. We have some who have volunteered. We still need many more, because it's just a minute who have take up the challenge. So write your name in the chat, which class you are from, and which class your name, the child name, and the class you represent. So we are asking that by the end of this meeting, our coordinator can get in touch with you, and so we can proper organize to help to better facilitate the situation that is happening, and to help to improve whatever condition we can. So this is one of the things that the executive is working on, and anticipate that it will work. The next thing is that, as you heard mentioned from our treasurer, from our secretary, sorry, we need a volunteer for our assistant treasurer. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn over to Mr. Ellis, our principal, and then he will coordinate with his team, and so we can better understand and get answers to our questions, burning questions. So, Mr. Principal, the floor is all yours, sir. The platform is all yours.
Good evening, Mr. Dua. Good evening, parents and members of staff that are logged in at this time. Good evening. I can imagine that there are several questions that parents have, particularly seen that we went face-to-face 2 weeks ago. And I will do my best to see how I can answer the majority of your questions. I do not pretend to have all the answers. However, we will do our best to see how many of these questions we will answer. I will go through a few things that will probably answer some of the questions before they are asked. And we will begin to understand some things. It seems book rental is one of the things that persons have been speaking of. Now, parents, our book rental scheme is a revolving scheme. That's one. We are having several challenges with book rental. One of the challenges we have is that students of the grade before have either lost or have not turned in their books. We have contacted several parents, we have contacted several students, and the truth of the matter is some of these persons are not attending classes either online or face-to-face, and so they have not brought in books. I was at school yesterday, and minutes to 5, I saw someone bringing in a set of books for some students, for a student, sorry, right? What that means is that someone who would have gotten that set of book would not have gotten it. So one problem we're having is that persons have the books at home, or they say the books are not able to be found, and so on. The other challenge we're having is that the Ministry of Education, who provide these books, have not given us any books as yet. And so I called the media services unit that deals with the distribution of books, and I was told that they are now in the process of procuring books for delivery. I was also told by the person who leads the media services unit that I should go ahead and distribute the ebooks where those are available. We do have some ebooks, but the problem is you can be given an electronic book, but of course, you would need to ensure you have a device by which you can download and store the book in order for its use. So I did say to the book room coordinator that this is the procedure we're going to be using for persons who have not yet received the books, and we have those copies via the ebook. We will distribute it electronically. I want us to also note there are several parents who come to school and they will take Jesus off the cross, that their child did not get a book or that their child returned a book. One of the things that we have done at Pembroke High School is we have committed funds to computerizing our book room system. That is to allow for better management and accountability. And so when a student receives a book, that book goes into our computerized system, just as how you would go to the supermarket and when you checking out at the cash register, you swipe the item and you hear "Perp," and that goes on the bill, exact same system. If I rent a book and that goes under my name, and for some reason that book is stolen from me, and Paul decides to return this book, then it automatically comes up that the book does not belong to Paul, but it belongs to Claude, and automatically is taken out, is put back into my name. And so returned as having been returned by me. Now, Paul will be out of a book, because he did not return the book that he got, right? And so many parents will say this book was brought in and so on, but it was not their child's book. And so the book will not be registered under their child because it belonged to someone else. Unfortunately, many situations we find that a student loses a book, and what do? They take on someone else's book, and in their mind, this will, be the book that is turned in for their book, but not at Pembroke High School, because our system will catch you and you're not going to get away with something of that nature. So we do not have the books to give you. That's one. Because one, several students are still outstanding in turning in their books. And two, the Ministry of Education has not yet delivered books that have been promised. When will they be delivered? I cannot say. The only thing I can say is that we will begin to distribute the ebook. I see someone asking if there's a book list. Of course there's a book list. For months now, we have been saying that the book list is located in the school app. Something again that we have spent handsomely to acquire so that we can post things and be in communication with parents. Parents, just go to the app, it's free. Just as though you download WhatsApp and Instagram and all the other things. Download the Pembroke High School app, it's in the App Store. Download it, and on the app, the book list is there. However, if you, for whatever reason, can't find it on the app and you come to school, a hard copy will be provided to you. But yes, there is a book list. Devotion continues on a Monday and a Thursday morning, particularly for students who are online. The devotion is done synchronously, which means while the devotion is taking place online, the students that are already at school or those students who are face-to-face, they are listening to the devotion via the intercom, right? And so reminder to you that devotions continue Monday and on a Thursday. We began face-to-face instruction on January 4. and we have received a fair showing, not a great showing, and that could be as a result of persons maybe being fearful or persons just not wanting their children to come out during the pandemic. I don't know. I can't speak to it. Dean Williams will speak in a little bit and to tell us some of the things that are being done via the Yard to Yard initiative and what are some of the reasons people have been given why they have not been in school nor online. Like today, I had a child and a parent who came to my office. This child has not been in school since September 2020, but is now ready to come to school. So he would have lost a year and plus, all of grade 7 and a term of grade 8, right? And so many students are presenting to us having not been online any at all, having not been face-to-face for more than a year. And so these are some of the challenges we are facing at the institution. In addition to this, I know that many persons have been saying they're not getting online classes and so on. In my letter that I wrote last weekend, I made it clear that we are aware that there are some of the classes that are not being streamed online. And that's for a number of reasons. One, sometimes the teachers just don't do it, even though they are instructed to do it. It's the God's honest truth. Sometimes they don't do it. But the majority want to do it, but we're having some issues. Since we came back to school, a number of our teachers have been ill. There are some days when I have more than 20 teachers absent from school with illness. Not COVID related, sometimes it's the flu and it's other things, right? When I have 20 odd teachers absent from school and people having to substitute and so on, it's very difficult to do synchronous teaching and learning, right? But it's something that is with us. A lot of people are ill. I'm thanking God that the numbers have gone down. And right now, I'm averaging about 10 teachers absent each day. Still a lot, right? But we are doing our best. And so sometimes that is a reason. Teachers are just not at school. Now, when a teacher is ill, I do not know the source of the illness, so I can't say they must teach online. When a teacher is ill and is on sick leave, they're on sick leave. Whether it is online or face-to-face, they are ill and are not at school. And so we have to understand this. The other problem that we face is one of connectivity. Right now, as I am speaking to you, I will not be surprised if my internet goes and I have to log back in, because that's just a feature of what is happening today, these days. At school, we have 2 different internet providers providing internet for us, and we have 2 different packages that we are using. However, it is not enough. In the letter that I wrote on the weekend, I indicated that in calling and having the internet provider send me a proposal for increased bandwidth, it would cost us in excess of $100,000 a month for internet access. When I checked it, it would be $1.8 million for this between January and December. I would have paid $1.8 million for internet. We simply can't afford that. We can't afford it. A parent, well, not a parent, an uncle to a student may have seen the letter, who is a systems administrator, and he gave his number and asked that I call him, and I did. We had a conversation, and he gave me some advice as to what we can do to increase our bandwidth. And we have been following that advice, and we're watching to see how that progresses. But it's an expensive venture, my parents. At school, we have bought several equipment, several additional access points so that we can do the classes online. We have made extensions, we have made pedestals for laptop computers to sit. We had bought laptop computers before. We have done so much to try to limit the students not being able to get on. But the truth is, we are still having challenges. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for us not showing the class, streaming the classes online. But I'm saying the challenges are very, very real, right? And so we are trying the best we can to alleviate some of this, and we are doing the best in this regard. Many of the teachers post the work on the Google Classroom, and so we just ask that parents ask the students to consult the Google Classroom, and they will see some of the material. Again, I will say not every teacher has posted, but there are several who have posted. As it relates to ID cards, I will take the responsibility for this, because we were expecting that when the students return face-to-face, we would go ahead and begin taking the ID photographs and printing for those who got IDs and lost IDs or so on. When I asked just yesterday, what is the status of that, I was told that we ran out of ink for the ID photographs to be printed, and so that is on order. That's not a good reason for us not to have ID, and I take full responsibility for that. We should have known that the ink is getting low, and we should have ordered before we ran out. And so I apologize, parents, that we are not on top of that, and that you have to be asking about ID cards. But I do take responsibility for it, and we are doing the best we can to see how quickly we can source and get the ID cards, right? A couple of things that we have done so far. We have done psychosocial assessment for our grade 7 students. We received the results last week, and those students that are high risk are being catered to, and we are going to be working with the others that need intervention. The psychosocial assessment was done by an outside counseling agency, and this is really just to give us an idea of what is the emotional well-being or emotional state of our students, right? And so we are going to be working through with those students. We also got the therapy room done. We converted a classroom into the therapy room. We do have some furniture for the therapy room. It has been painted, and so we will put that into effect very soon. My guidance counselors will say that it would be great to have an air conditioning unit in that room, but until someone is able to donate that, then we may not be able to implement that at the moment. But the therapy room is in fact in, and we hope that we'll be able to reach those students who really need the psychosocial intervention and the groups of them. Mr. Dua spoke about the care packages. I'll take the questions in a little bit. I see some in the chat and I know hands are going up. I'll take the questions in a little bit. We just towards the end of December, we issued about 70 care packages from Food for the Poor. We requested it from Food for the Poor, and they were gracious enough to give us these packages. And let me tell you, I really think they were some very good packages, right? It covered quite a cross section of things in terms of toiletries and food and so on. The packages were so heavy that persons had to really get rides home, right? And we thank Food for the Poor for assisting us with this, and several persons were able to benefit from those packages. As a school, we continue to work to help those of our student body who are in need. And so parents, when you go to Price Mart or the wholesale or wherever, just pick up 1 or 2 items and drop it off at school. We have something at school to store them. And when persons are in need, we do help out. And at other times, we also just prepare packages and ask students to collect and so on, because many of us, and the teachers and the guidance counselors, they know those students particularly who are in need and will assist, and we also assist those students who are you know, come on board and want. So please, if you can assist us in this way, we would be most grateful. Path lunches are being served at the canteen. I wrote that in the letter last week. And I wanted the parents to know that the lunches are being served. But the problem is this: we have to account for it. And the path lunch system, again, is a computerized system. It's quite simple. Students who are on path, their ID card is logged into the system. They go to the canteen, their ID cards are swiped, and they get their lunches. It is recorded that Claude Ellis received a lunch today, January 27th, right? If I try to go back today to get another lunch, the system will say, you got your lunch already, you can't get another lunch today, right? What that does is when it is time for us to give an account at the end of the month, we are able to just pull up the data from the system and we are able to give an accurate record of who we served and so on. For those students who do not have ID, there are temporary cards that are going to be issued tomorrow for that. All right. Today I asked that we facilitated them, and tomorrow I have already printed the barcodes, and the temporary cards will be done up tomorrow for the students to receive their lunches when they go down for that. All right. After 3 weeks of face-to-face classes, well, 2 weeks and some, we have noted a number of things, and we have to make some adjustments, which I'll talk about after Dean Williams would have spoken about the RTR initiative. So get ready for that, Dean Williams. But after 3 weeks of assessment, we have noted some things and we are going to be making some changes. Parents, I keep saying that school is school. We're not at party. Do not send your children to school with these twisted up ear and eye here and color here and don't do it, man. It's school coming, right? And people keep coming to me and telling me about they don't get a chance to go to the barber and so on. And they forget that I am a male and I go to the barber and I know when people line up. So many of these boys went to the barber just a weekend before and got lined up and telling me that they couldn't get to go to the barber because they don't have no money, or they don't this or they don't that. School is school. And so I want for us to get rid of the excuses and just let our children get with the program. All right. So I'll talk to you about some of the changes that we will make moving forward. We have taken a zero tolerance approach to those students who disobey the protocols, who don't want to wear the mask, who don't want to wear the mask properly, and so on. We're not going to stay with them because the truth of the matter is I cannot endanger 1,249 students because one student decide that they don't want to obey the rules. When students need mask breaks, they can say to the teacher that they need a break and they'll be allowed to go outside and take down the mask and so on and get a break. But they must follow the rules of the school. I am not tolerating students walking through the school with headset in their ears and cell phones playing music and so on. While we do not ban cell phones, while we do not discourage persons bringing their laptop computers and tablets, we are saying it must be done responsibly. And so you cannot expect to be playing, you know, and some of the songs that these children play, they are so lewd and just crass and nasty. And they think everybody needs to hear this. Well, I will be confiscating those phones and you parents will quarrel with me because you will tell me how much your child must have a phone because of one reason or another. But I need you to, before I get to that point, caution your child when to use the phone and when not to use it. All right. I'm going to ask Dean Williams to just speak very quickly on the yard-to-yard initiative and where we are with that. And if she could just give a quick 1 minute overview for those persons who are thinking to themselves, yard-to-yard initiative, what that? And just want Dean Williams to give me a quick 1 minute overview of that. Please unmute your mic, Dean, and go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, that was just a test to make sure that you're hearing. Thank you, sir. Well, the yard-to-yard initiative, we at Pembroke High School referred to it as the Each One Reach One, which is pretty much the same thing. Okay, it's finding our students that we've not seen in a while. We've not seen them online, and since we've returned face-to-face, we have not seen them. Now, you know, student parents, that we have divided the students into two groups, X and Y. And so group X has come in twice. This week is their second week. And what we do each morning is to mark the names, just stick to see which child is here. And from our count, these are rough counts, but from our count, 223 students were unaccounted for. We weren't sure whether they were, we didn't see them online, we didn't see them face-to-face. Or before we weren't sure where they were. Since we've started the online and face-to-face, we have been able to find 85 of the 223 from, this is from group X, okay? So about 138 students, we're still not sure what the situation is. We have a social worker and we have a youth worker. Miss Morgan is the youth worker. Miss Thompson is the social worker. And together we're working to try and separate those who are coming, those who are online, not coming to face-to-face, but they're online, and those who we're just not sure, we don't know what has happened to them. Because this is just group Y has come in only for 1 week, we haven't done their calculation as yet, but from a rough guesstimate that we've looked at, it's round about the same number. So we're talking about somewhere close to 270 or somewhere there students we might still have missing. That's what we're thinking. Now, that's a lot of students because the Ministry of Education says every child can learn and every child must learn. So once a child is missing, even one, it's a concern. Sir has already spoken to the rules, so I'm not going to address that, except to say, while we are going to be coming out to look for those children whom we have not seen, when we bring them back, I don't want students to be thinking, oh, we came to look for you, you came to look for me, or you call my parents to say I'm to come to school so I can come to school and do what I want to do. We want you at school. I've been saying that to them. We're happy you are at school, but you've come to school to obey the rules, to follow the rules, and to go to class and learn. It can be some students, I've seen some of them sitting in the auditorium after 2 years of not being in school. You come and you find time to sit down in auditorium, eating all day, sleeping, all of that foolishness will not work. When we call the parents, some of the reasons that we get for students not coming, some of them are straight online. The parents say, I don't want to send my child for face-to-face. That's all right. That's a choice you make. Okay. And Sir has already addressed the issues with the online. So if you choose only online and you're not getting the kind of mileage you were expecting, remember that's a choice you made, because a child can come to face-to-face and we wouldn't have the issues we have online. Okay. Might have other issues, but wouldn't have the online ones. Some parents say, just like how we've had several teachers out sick, parents say the kids are sick. What can we do? If you're sick, you're sick. So we're hoping the children will get better, those who are not well, and can come out for face-to-face. But here is what I am very concerned about. I was very disheartened that the number of parents, when I called and I said, we've not seen the child face-to-face, is he or she online? They really couldn't say. They were not sure. And I wasn't surprised, I must be honest, because when we had regular school before COVID, it was pretty much the same thing in our parents. Many parents did not know whether their children got homework and if they did homework and what they did at school, because you're just not checking up on the child. So many parents are not sure if the child is on or if the child is not on. If they know they're not attending face-to-face, but they don't know if they're attending online, why they're not attending, because they have the tablet or the whatever device. Some other parents say, the child, I'm not sending him or her out, but I don't have a device. Again, I don't understand that. How can you not have a device, but you choose not to send the child out? Well, you say for safety. We try as much as possible to have the children safe. That's why we insist that children wear the mask and wear it properly, wash their hands, etc. So my few minutes, I think, is finished. I just want to encourage you parents again, if you know of a child that lives nearby and you see that child on the street going back and forth when it's school time, please say something to the child and the child's parents. And if you can't speak to them because you don't want to trouble people, as we'll say, call the school or give your child a message to say to us here that I know Tom Brown, I know he's a student of Pembroke High School, and I know he has not been coming out. He lives here, he lives there, and if you have a number, that would be even better. All right? Expect us. We're going to be coming into the community to find these children. We ask that you look out for us and tell, just see to our safety. When we come out, please let them know we are Pembroke people. We are not politicians. We're not coming about anything else, not anything else other than to see to the education and the well-being of our students. Thank you for listening. And I hope what I've said covers the questions that you have about the Yard-to-Yard initiative. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dean Williams. Thank you very much. Just to say to you, parents, that it is vitally important that whether your child is face-to-face or online, that you pay close attention to what it is they are doing so that you are able to to alleviate some of the issues that we have been having. All right, I'm going to Deandra. I'm assuming you are with us. Let me just go to the text and see if I can answer a few of these, and then I'll take some hands. Can children come to school if they're not vaccinated? Absolutely. I said that in our last meeting, emergency meeting with parents, right? You can come to school whether you're vaccinated or not. Some parents are asking whether or not their child, if the child don't have a device, if they can come to face-to-face all the time. We cannot accommodate those requests, to be honest with you. There are a lot, and we are not able to accommodate those requests at this time. Someone was asking about grade 11. I will be speaking to some of the changes with the exam group in just a little while. All right, so, all right. I see a hand. Babette, go ahead, please. Unmute and go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Principal. Good evening to all the teachers and the parents who are online, and if there are students here, good evening as well. Happy New Year to you, and I trust that as we try to navigate 2022, that we will have far less challenges than we had in 2021 by God's grace. I want to come, are you hearing me clearly?
Loudly and clearly.
Thank you. I want to commend the teachers, because I know that while they try to, impart knowledge to our students, they themselves, some of them are also parents, and it's a challenge for them to try to navigate both, home and work on the varying platforms with the varying internet challenges and so many other things. And I want to commend them because I've seen the interest. I'm not a parent. My children are grown adult university graduates. I'm a guardian. But I see the interest, and I must commend it. It's not on all fronts, so you don't have all the teachers showing that interest. But of course, there are those who do go all out and beyond to ensure that their students are engaged and that they can account for them. And so I must commend them for that. I have a concern, and I know that there are many challenges and funds may not be readily available. But I do have a concern because I've had to be counseling since Tuesday of this week. Unfortunately, I've had to be counseling the child I'm the guardian of, because she had to go to the restroom on Tuesday to change for PE and came home traumatized. And she said she's not going back because she cannot subject herself to that restroom. Well, I just had to say to her, well, listen, you have to do what you have to do. But I wanted to bring it up here because what she explained to me and what she expressed that she experienced, I'm a little concerned, because while we try to look at different protocols regarding this pandemic, it is critical that we also pay attention to not just the mask wearing and the social distancing and all the others, hand washing stations, but that the restrooms, which I can pick up so much germs from, even as a female, that the critical attention is given. And I just wanted to know what are the plans based on what she explained to me. If there are plans to renovate.
Which is what?
Sorry?
Which is what?
Which is mess on the wall, unmaintained toilet seats, and I know some of it is on the part of the students, but I don't know how the maintenance is done. Okay. And how often it's done. But she did indicate that apart from the fact that there were broken toilet seats, the maintenance was not, there were actually feces on the wall, and things that I don't wish to mention. Okay. Maintenance that will churn your stomach, that sort of a thing.
Okay.
So I just
All
wanted
right.
to find out, if the janitors are, diligent, and if there's a need, or if it is that there is a need for a project to be done where the toilet seats can be replaced and the bathrooms can be painted, or if there's a project that is in the pipeline for that.
All right. So let me answer. I don't know. I can't speak to what is on the wall and so on, because I don't pretend to go into the female bathroom to see what's happening in there, right? But what I do know is that we have persons that are specifically hired to clean the bathrooms consistently during the day. If you come there, you will actually see a lady who normally would sit at the bathroom door, right? And from time to time, after the students enter and leave, she would go in to see what is happening and clean up, right? So that's something that I'm sure happens. The toilet seat, to be honest with you, I know about that, but I just cannot, I can't help with it. Right now, in my office, I have bought another box of toilet seats. It's in my office right now. If you come there in the morning, it is right beside the table in my office. Why? Because I cannot understand for the life of me, why would a student just rip off a toilet seat? Me can't understand it.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. And maybe someday somebody can explain to me. The other day I had to replace 40 something plugs in the classrooms because students dig them out. And I'm wondering, why would you dig out a plug, you know? And I'm surprised that nobody don't come to me and say, boy, them get shocked so that I could punish them again, right? But these are some of the things that I face. So I know for a fact that some of the toilets do need seats and so on, and we have bought seats, but the minute you put them on, they break them off. And I don't know why they do it, but they just do, right? So I'll ask somebody to look in there and let me know what is happening tomorrow. But I'll also say that recently, and Mr. Dua will know this, and some members, that we renovated the female bathrooms just before COVID. And it was a parent who her company did it for us. And I'm talking about paint the entire bathroom, change out the toilets, put on doors. As a matter of fact, girls are complaining that while they are using the bathroom, other girls would like go in one stall and stand on the toilet and look over the other stall. And we placed things on top so that nobody can stand in one bathroom and look over in the other bathroom. So we have done a number of things, but clearly, as much as we do, we still have not done enough. So the best I will do tomorrow is to have somebody go in and look and to see what that is. And I will be making certain that the individual who has been earmarked for round the clock maintenance of the bathroom, that is done. But these are some things that we know has been issues in the past and we have tried to mitigate. All right, so we'll try and work on that. Thanks for that input.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you very much. But if you'd allow me, then I will go further to say then, based on what I've heard regarding even the rental of the books, then I will go further to say that as parents, that we need to start teaching our children accountability and honesty and responsibility, because the very way they do not return the books, and probably, sir, what we probably need to start doing as a school is start charging them for the books that they have not returned.
I can't do that because the books are not mine. They belong to the government of Jamaica. What we ask is that the parents replace the books before they can get another book, but we can't tell them to pay for it.
Okay. So I'm appealing to those parents who are online, sir. Please.
Yes.
It cannot be that the school is trying to have it aesthetically pleasing for your child and the other children, and your child is ripping off a toilet seat. Somebody has to replace it. So please take some time to teach your children responsibility and to teach them cleanliness, because they are not just the only ones who are using it. Other people have used it as well. So let us try to teach them those values so that, we can all
Thanks.
benefit from it. Thank you so much.
No problem. Mrs. Phillips Williams, go ahead. Dean Williams, maybe you want to make an input here.
Yes, sir. I'm sure what the parent speaks to is correct. The child must have experienced what she said. But I'll say I went into that bathroom yesterday to look for a child, and I was pleasantly surprised because it was very clean. I didn't go into all the stores, but just walking in there, and I didn't even know it would come up because I thought to myself, this is clean, this looks good. I noted that the other one was closed off. So I don't know if that's the one reference is made to, and if that is why it's closed off. But because remember, we have to, that's what parents need to know. We have 2 sets of bathrooms. So the bigger one was the one I went into. And that I went in there to look for students, and it was pleasant. Smell and the look and everything. I'm very touchy when it comes to bathroom, and I could appreciate walking into that bathroom. So I don't know what the child experienced, but I know when I went in, it was clean. And I know Miss Icy really makes an effort for the most part to keep those bathrooms clean. I just think I needed to say that.
All right. Someone in the chat is saying, if I have considered Dish Internet, we have not, but now that you have mentioned it, I will look into it to see what services that offer and to see how that is. So thank you for that recommendation. I will have my systems people look into that. I'm seeing someone saying that the 250 lunch is bigger than the 350. I'm not quite understanding 250 and bigger 350 if part lunch, path lunch. The path lunch, I believe, would be the one for 250. Remember that we try to give the students something that would naturally be filling, but remember, it's not the same as if you were at home, right? And we do the best that we can. What I do know is that no matter how much we put in those lunches, people will always want more. But I do think it is the 250 that is given for PATH. Remember that the government really only gives us $120 per day for each PATH student. And so the school basically subsidized the rest of that lunch. And so I believe it is a 250 lunch that is given. Is there another hand? No. So I'm wondering about if for those parents who say they don't have the device, my child is gonna do it. All right. All right, so let me explain now about the grade 11 and what will be happening as we move forward. I noted Mr. Dua said we don't want to be here all night, and you know I'm a preacher, so I will talk for a very long time. So let me get to that. We assessed the last 2 weeks, and we have made some decisions as it relates to moving forward, right? Come Monday, the 31st of January, all grade 11 students will be in for school, not on rotation, but on a continuous basis. So grade 11, the examination group, 11, 12, and 13, will be at school on a continuous basis, not on rotation, for 4 days per week. 4 days per week, right? These days are not set, but will be just like how we did the calendar and we said which group will come which day and which group will not come which day. That's the same thing that we will do, but a grade 11 group will come in 4 days per week not on rotation, but on a continuous basis. Grades 7 to 10 will also be doing, will continue to do rotation, just as we have done now, right? Grades 7 to 10 will continue to do rotation, but the difference is that when they are not on rotation, they're not going to be expected to go to the class to see work posted, but they will actually be having online class, right? So the class will be online when they are not at school, and grade 7 to 10 will come to school 3 days per week. Again, it will be on rotation, and so you will get the schedule as to which days you will come. As much as we try, parents, we don't get 3 consecutive days all the time. So I am begging you, do not stop your child if you should come to school Monday, Tuesday, but you don't come Wednesday and your next day is Thursday. Let the child come Thursday, right? It is important, because if you don't do that, what is going to happen is that the child is going to not have the opportunity of some of the classes face to face, right? I know that it is going to be a little adjustment. You have done well with the X and Y adjustment. So we are going to ask that you adjust with us a little more. It is necessary that we do this so that we are able to give the examination group the best opportunity to do well, while at the same time we maintain face-to-face contact with the other students. Dijonay Finn, I see your hand up and I will take your question in just a moment, right? So I know some parents are going to want to say, well, you know, they would have wanted their child to have 4 days. We can't do 4 days now because we literally do not have the space. I don't want to tell you the logistical nightmare we are going through to accommodate all the classes for those days and so on. It is a logistical headache, but we are doing it and we are doing the best we can. And I want to publicly thank Mr. Ince and Miss Allen and Mr. Rose and, you know, the team of persons who are working constantly and consistently to iron out all the kinks and to make sure that we are able to house our students each day while at school in a safe way. All right? So that is something I will be writing to you about and telling you. In addition to that, we are also going to be reviewing the X and Y groups. We noticed that the X group is smaller, much smaller than the Y group. And so we are going to be balancing the group. And so we'll be sending out a new list. And so you will find that some persons that were on the X group for grade 7 to 10, you will now be in the, some people on the Y group, sorry, you will now be in the X group, all right? But we have to do this so that we can do the best we can to balance out the number of students who are at school each day. While students continue to come back, then we will determine which of the groups they are placed in. Dijonay Finn, go ahead, please.
Sir, good evening. DJ Nathan. When a teacher sending a work in my classroom, sir, I'll send it now, sir. I'm get it out tomorrow, sir. I don't know what happened.
Let me see if I understand you. Is the teacher send it or you sending the work to the teacher? Dijonay, say it again, please.
Sir said, when a teacher sending a work, my English teacher sending a work Monday, sir, and Tuesday I got it in the morning, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that is something that we can't affect. That could be just a feature of the internet. Yesterday was Wednesday, Tuesday night, I was at home and after a while, everything just stopped. I had no internet, nothing all the way up into the morning, Wednesday morning. There was absolutely no internet at home. So sometimes these things happen. All right, thank you, Dijane. Was there another hand? No. Parents. I'm looking in the chat to see if there are any questions there for me to answer. Someone said the child complaining the lunch is cold. Boy, I don't know, because some people are complaining that they wait too long to get the lunch because, of course, you know, we can only take a certain amount of children there at a time because of the social distancing and so on. So we can't just let out everyone at the same time. So we have to do it in increments. But I can tell you that the lunch is not prepared way in the morning and it's not put on the fridge or anything. But we just have to help the students to understand that we're not at home, and so we don't get it exactly how we want it. And we just have to try the best we can. All right. I don't see any for online students. Where the students are unable to access the classes. Yes, we normally send the work to the class wall. Mrs. Smith, go ahead, please. Go ahead and unmute Mrs. Smith.
Good night, everyone, parents, principal, everybody, good night. Sir, I was asking in the chat about the WhatsApp group for 9th graders, if there is a WhatsApp group for 9th grade students.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I need to get back the contact because I don't have it.
All right, just watch the chat. Somebody's going to post the number that you can contact to be placed in the particular class for your child. All right.
Okay, and another thing my son was asking, why isn't the 9th graders doing clubs?
Oh boy, that is something that we're going to be fixing. You're very correct. You're very correct. It is something that we're going to be fixing. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm excited to know that there are some students who are wanting to be part of the club. So yes, we notice it and we're going to fix it. Thank you, miss.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Tony James, please unmute and go ahead.
Hi, afternoon again, everyone. Is evening now? Okay. All right. So I got kicked out. So I don't know if you had spoke about it. You mentioned reselecting the students or some of the students because our group is bigger than the other. Can it be after this week? I am begging you. My son is in Y. He has done only 1 week. And the only thing that he can do when he's home for the week is just to do the work that is there. Because you know the internet, I don't know if it's my internet. I'm thinking it's mine because it has been kicking me out. I try upgrading and it's just not working. So I just
You're not alone, mine too.
Yeah, so because of that, I just said, okay, you'll take the 1 week that is getting, so I hope you just do it after. And if you can come every day, I'll appreciate it. But I know how it goes. But just do it after this. I can get
We're trying to accommodate a number of things. The truth is there are some students who need particular intervention, and we're working with that. And yes, it is after this week that we will make the reselection. And someone in the group is asking, should Y group come to school next week still? Yes, the Y group will still be on next week, but we will tell you there may be some students who will be shifted from the Y to X. All right. All right. And yes, school is on tomorrow. If your child was supposed to be at school tomorrow, today grade grade 10 was out today. Let me tell you who is out tomorrow. Week 3. I'll tell you who is out tomorrow. Grade 9 is out tomorrow. Grade 9 is out tomorrow. So all other grades are for X should be at school tomorrow. All right? Only grade 9 will be out tomorrow. Yes. And I will be posting all that I've said in terms of the change of the groups and the new schedule. I'll be posting it in the parents group. All right. If you are having a problem with your email address in terms of the resetting, maybe Karen, Miss King, Miss Frey, you could just put a note in the chat here for the group that we do the reset for the passwords. Shiona Ashman, go ahead. Unmute and go ahead, please.
Good night. What if it's a case where you paid the $6,500 and she's supposed to get the PJs, but you can't find the receipt?
You come to school and give us the name and we look for the receipt. It will take a little time for us to look for it, but we look for it.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, man. I think we should probably charge for that, you know, just like the bank. When you can't find a receipt, the bank charges to look for a receipt, don't it? I think we should charge. What is the charge I think we should put there, Miss Ashman? Miss Ashman gone quiet on me. All right, but yes, you can come and let us know and we'll look for it. All right. Group. All right, PE gears are available. That's the number for the WhatsApp group there, yes. All right, Dejeuner, go ahead. Unmute and go ahead, Dejeuner. All right. All right, Mr. Dua, it seems that there are, for civics and history and I could not get online. Again, parents, I'm saying I know that some of the classes we were not able to do online. We keep improving and going along. We've made some adjustment this week because of the bandwidth at school. The teachers were unable to do some of the classes. Some teachers actually use their data from their phone to do classes, but we are making the adjustments and trying to move on. All right. Rosemary, unmute and go ahead, please.
Good night, sir. My concern is for the face-to-face. Couldn't I'm just saying, because my son, I'm having a real challenge with him, Jerome Smith. He's a 9-4, a real challenge where I work, and there are times when I'm not able to be home when he's doing face-to-face, and he just consistently at times minimize the class and go on this free fire thing, and I had to find a way to block him from it. And if he goes on the class and it's saying, I'm waiting for the host to join, I haven't seen any work pop up in the classrooms, no homework or anything that they say will be posted, but he keeps minimizing the class and going into TikTok. And I'm trying, me wouldn't mind if him could have come school every day of the week, because I can't take the problem when him report is not good. Me stress when time is not paying attention, and I'm trying my best. So I said I was going to come and speak with the guidance counselor, because to be honest, sir, his father is not really giving me any leadway when I go to him in terms of asking for assistance, in terms of certain things, curving him with the behavior and all of that. And it's a real challenge for me. So I would like to speak with a guidance counselor in regards to that, because the online class, To me, it's not working, especially for him, because I do security work and I'm not here all the while to monitor him. So
right,
this week I'm on morning shift and I'm not here to monitor him with the online class.
All right. Well, you can speak with the counselors, but like I said, we will not be able to accommodate all the requests for straight face-to-face, because we have to ensure that we keep the numbers where they are supposed to be. But please feel free. We have the counselors available and they're always ready to have conversation. And where we can assist, we will do our best to assist, right? The psychological assessment was done. It was sent to all the grade 7 parents that we have on file, and it was done online. All the students who followed the instructions and went online to do it, did it. So we did not choose who do it. We sent it to everyone, and anyone who followed the instructions, the assessment was done for them.
What assessment was that, sir?
It's for grade 7, psychological assessment.
No, he's in grade 9.
Yeah, man, so it wouldn't apply to him. No, I was answering a question from the chat. All right. All right. Bobette Coke, sorry. Bobette Coke. Unmute and go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ellis. Quick question, because I came by the school prior to the opening of face-to-face and queried the issue of the PE uniform, because Itana Graham is not able to find her receipt. And I was told, because I asked the same question as to whether or not they could check the book to see. And I was told that because they didn't use just one book, there are so many books to go through, it wasn't possible. So I listened to you to say that check. I just wanted to know.
It's always possible.
That's what I was told.
Some time, but it is always possible. It cannot be that because you can't find a receipt, you have to give up your PE grade. No, go so.
Right. So I just wanted to know if that information was shared with all concerned, so that in the event we go back.
It will be shared tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Mr. Dua, it seems I have exhausted the question, sir. So I will pay attention to some of the chat messages even after this meeting, and where I can, I will respond to persons afterwards. And I did say grade 9 does not have school tomorrow. All other grades are to be at school tomorrow. Grade 9 is out, but 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13, you have school tomorrow. Mr. Dua?
Okay, Mr. Ellis, I sat here and listened to you going through, you have done your marathon. It was well deserved. And I hope that, I mean, most of the questions have been, for me, they have been dealt with satisfactory, in a satisfactory way, sorry. But I hope, what I'm hoping that is that parents will spend the time out to care for each other. Because most of the concern, I realize that as we have started out saying that we need to have class rep and grade rep, if that is so, then some of these things can be minimized. Because I'm hoping that we can return to the part where it is said that it takes a village to raise a child. And if we show that concern, then for sure we can minimize most of these problems, and we can be on a better trajectory to achieve our goals. So to the parents, I must say thank you for coming out. And I hope that after this meeting, many things will be improved and being done in a different light. For the teachers who are online, thank you for being there. For our guidance counselor, I just want to say we as a team, we appreciate the work, knowing that the effort has been put out. We are going yard to yard. We appreciate that. And if there's anything we as the committee can do, let us know so that we can do our part to help. For you, Mr. Principal, we are happy because of your administration. We are happy that we can still, as a school, stand out, because when I look on it and see the effort that has been done, not many schools have been so privileged for that. And we know that everything is work in progress and there are always room for improvement. So we are happy for that. And parents, let us do our part. My committee, thank you for your support, and let us continue to do our part. And as we have come to the end of our meeting, will someone so move that this meeting be adjourned? Someone so move that this meeting be adjourned?